Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm just going to read from some of my notes and give an overview off the top of my head because I've come up to speed about the whole 5G paradigm, and there's a huge storm brewing around the rollout of this 5G technology. So first off, right now there's a few 100,000 cellular towers in North America alone. And whereas like a cellular tower is compared to a tree, a 5G small cell towers are being compared to like mushrooms, and there's going to be a whole lot more of them that spring up in order to create the connectivity of this network. And so of course a lot of people are upset and concerned for many reasons about all of this. The real issues with 5G, of course, are starting out with people who are not even concerned, apparently, about the health implications. All they care about is the fact that it's going to make their property look bad and perhaps devalue the value of their home. Because what's happening is, because they have to roll out so many of these little small cell towers for the 5G network, they're going to have to put some of these on private property. And so there's a Telecommunications Act in the States back from like 1996. If the city considers health as an issue, these cell companies can actually sue them. There's such a huge push for this 5G. It's just like everything else, it's being extremely hyped up. It's the next big thing. There's so much investment in this paradigm, and this has been planned for a long time. There's a speech by Tom Wheeler, the FCC chair. He's basically saying in this talk that they're not going to give a damn about testing this as far as health safety goes. That this is just going to be ramrodded and rolled out because get out of the way, this is the new technological paradigm.
5G is a national priority, and stay out of the way of technological development. Unlike some countries, we do not believe that we should spend the next couple of years studying what 5G should be or how it should operate. The future has a way of inventing itself.
With talk like that, I'm surprised there isn't more public outcry, and maybe a lot of people just don't know that this 5G network is being rolled out so quickly. A lot of people are so sold on this, and I've talked about this in previous videos, people are being sold on this paradigm of convenience. You can just swipe your card when you're doing things, you're going to be able to pay for things a lot faster, the 5G network connectivity will be so fast that it's a very machine-friendly system. 5G radiation is going to be using higher frequency millimeter wave bands. And we don't know how this is going to affect people when they're in it 24/7. Now, there's been, as far as the adverse health effects, the main proponents of them are talking about the potential effects on the sweat glands and the human skin. And they're saying that the human skin acts like a sponge absorbing these frequencies of microwave radiation. There's multiple scientists that have been talking about this. So it's all out there on the internet, and I know that as this 5G push increases and these little towers start showing up everywhere, people are going to be more exposed to the naysayers who are concerned about the health risks. And I think this is a huge litmus test for our society right now as a whole. Like if people allow this 5G network to be implemented, it says a lot about how much people want a control system and want the big brother. This is totally enabling it. And a lot of people are really sold on this paradigm, and they get really angry at those of us who bring up the health concerns and who talk about the body electric. We talk about the human magnetic field and the possible effects on our minds. And I mean, I see mainstream studies and articles going back to 2008 talking about how cell phones and contact with a cell phone can change your brain waves and affect your behavior, like making you not able to sleep as well. All of these health risks that are already there and all of the effects of the cell phone towers, and that stuff isn't even resolved. We don't even have a real true solid position on public health about these things, and now they're going to roll out 1 million new towers in the US alone. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to go smoothly at all, because I don't believe that a lot of these spoiled yuppies who eat nothing but organic food are going to allow a 5G cell tower on their light pole outside their bedroom. I think that this whole push for 5G and perhaps the fact that they will be able to roll out 5G in certain cities, we're going to find that the people who are initially part of this little experiment, I think we're going to hear about some adverse reactions. There was one article I read where they were talking about how, some NASA scientist was cockily acting like there's nothing to be concerned about with these 5G millimeter waves, and we should we should force the 5G network on everybody, is basically what they're saying. They want to just roll it out and you have no choice. And if you are concerned about the health effects, you're an idiot, right? They'll mock you, okay? And yet you have the Firefighters Association, I think it was, let me see. The International Association of Firefighters disagrees. It began opposing cell towers on fire stations after firefighters complained of health problems. And I think that this whole issue might actually cause a bit of a public health awakening in the end of it. The fact that the millimeter wave technology is used in the airport scanners and in the crowd control technology and crowd dispersal weapons, that's enough to make people nervous. But the fact that this range of these millimeter waves has an effect potentially on the skin and importantly the sweat glands, that's when you're going to be getting into the meridians and the biofield, the human biofield, and you may end up having some serious problems. Our body electric has everything to do with the circulation of energy in our bodies. And yet, it's not mainstream knowledge. And so I'm wondering if maybe, this oppressive 5G system, well, maybe that'll wake the mainstream up to this knowledge. I'm wondering, how fast will people feel this if they do feel health effects, and especially sensitive people and babies and old people who don't have, whose bodies are demineralized, people who don't have good electrolytes. I think those are the people that will feel this before anybody else. Is our entire society going to continue to ignore this? They really want to create this kind of nanny state with this digital system. And Goldman Sachs had a video where they put this out, and they're so excited about this because it's just money, 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 money. The woman, I can't remember what her name is, but this woman who was talking from Goldman Sachs was saying, we're talking about 100 times more devices connected than there are people on the planet. And it's so unsustainable. It seems to me it would be so unsustainable. But they want to do this digital network overlaid. It's the furthering of an unnatural matrix superimposed onto a natural matrix. So the robots will be loving it. Humans, we might just fry in it. I don't know. I guess it's just like amazing to me that this is even happening. I'm like, either this wakes everybody up, or we end up with this horrible 5G network, and people like Tom Wheeler talking about and the lady at Goldman Sachs talking about hundreds of billions of connected microchips and products, and your digital ID being something that you can't get away from. Then you hear about, in China, obviously in China they're aggressively rolling out this system, and in China they're doing their social credit scores. So it just keeps getting more and more like a Philip K. Dick novel, the more that I take it in. And I think there is going to be a tipping point for the upper middle class, who are obviously so comfortable they don't even notice of the oppression that's going on. At some point, they're going to feel oppressed by this control system, and I want to know what's going to happen. I anxiously await to see how all of this will play out, because either way, I'm going to work to protect myself. I made another video about, buffering from 5G and just EMFs and all of it. I continue to do research, and I'll let you guys know as that progresses more. If I have real interesting information about ways to buffer, I'll pass it on. And I think there's a grounded way to approach energy medicine. I will be back probably in a couple weeks after this heat wave. Have a good one, everybody.